to kind of be in that area of building.
Mm-hmm. Jeff joining us now on Sactown Sports. Hello, Jeff. What's going on? What can we do for you?
How are you?
Good. It's good to talk with you.
From my standpoint, I understand why teams want to call this a rebuild at this point. But to me, they're not there yet. They're just bad. Mm-hmm. Because this was a team that took its best player a year ago and traded for an old vet. In the summer, they signed a couple more vets. There were people on this station that kind of hoped everything would break right and they'd win 45 games. They have young players. They don't really have anybody that's going to turn into a blue chipper, you would think. They would hope that maybe some of these young guys can be rotation pieces.
Yes.
And they didn't move any of those old contracts. Like, I understand that if they hit the lottery, that's like an instant rebuild. But, like, they're just bad. They might want to rebuild, but they're not even rebuilding yet.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's a great call from Jeff. And I mentioned this earlier today, the idea of the young guys, and we brought up all the number 24 picks, how Kyle Lowry is the best 24th pick since 2001. But, and I think it was Ty Jerome was the 24th pick, but it was kind of slim pickings, right? And the idea was that none of them were stars, maybe outside of Kyle Lowry for, that time in Toronto. So this whole conversation of play the young guys. I mean, you're talking about a 24th pick, an undrafted guy, and a second-round pick. So to that point, I don't know who's even going to be on the team in a couple of years. I know Dylan Cardwell got a 4-year deal. Shout out to him. That happened about 30 minutes ago. But I have no clue that any of these guys are going to be rotation pieces, let alone stars. I think that's kind of crazy. And, the other thing, when we bring up the culture conversation, the reality is this, fellas. Even if DeMar is only at 28 minutes, even if Levine is only at 22 and he hated all 22 of those minutes, and Russ is at 26, any minute they are on the floor and you're just letting them do whatever the hell they want, those are minutes where your culture is not moving in any type of direction. I'm just going to eliminate Domantas Sabonis because he's a center, but you let those guys just do whatever they want, you're not building anything. And that's my problem with keeping these guys, even if they're not getting in the way, like you said, Whitey. But as far as building a culture, you're letting DeMar, if I got to watch this brother do a pump fake and convince somebody to foul him one more time, I'm going to lose my top, just like Mike Brown said. I don't want to watch that, and it's not building anything. Mm-hmm. It's really not.
He's really good, though.
At doing it, yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
The point that Jeff made that stood out to me, Chris, was that they don't have anyone on the roster right now who's the guy. Mm-mm. And we talked about this yesterday. Nick Clifford looks like he'd be a good player. Maxime Reynaud looks like he could be a good player. But you still, if you're talking about we're rebuilding, right, at some point you're going to have to find the guy, and maybe you will in the lottery. But that any rebuild, you really haven't accomplished anything until you find somebody that you can say, we think we got our guy, and they're nowhere near that yet.
Yeah, especially here in Sacramento too, right? Like there's not many paths to get a guy, and you either have to try and be the Halliburton recipient and like that kind of trade, a Halliburton for Sabonis type of trade, and SGA again, if you want to use other teams' parallels, like that's obviously one path to getting there, but there's obviously an element of luck in that too. Like for every SGA and Tyrese, like there's Josh Giddey, where it's like, okay, like it worked out, but it's not as if he's one of the best point guards in the NBA. I think that's where the draft has to be the priority, and that's kind of where I think. Scott, I don't want to say I won't say this is the reason why it's dropping the ball, but I just think your main focus for getting out of this season, like the only thing, in my opinion, that you can accomplish that's worth anything with the remainder of this season is securing a top pick. And I don't feel like, obviously, the moves at the deadline necessarily help them accomplish that goal. And so it does kind of feel like, well, what are we doing the rest of the season? I think Alan has said it. Like, is the rest of this year just for getting up DeMar and Russ's numbers up the scoring ladder, or is that kind of like what the MO is for fourth quarters?
Some of it may be about seriously seeing what Devin Carter is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I would love if that's what it's going to be, but I think that's the best hope, is that we do finally get to see. Devin Carter get the length of run that he got the other day, and get to see Nick Clifford with the ball in his hands and all these kind of things. But it just feels like you have to check these boxes of playing these, DeMar and Zach and all these guys have to play 20 or so minutes if they're going to suit up on that night, just because you didn't get them off of the roster. And it's, it's a different conversation, but it is why I kind of felt like during the deadline there would have been some value of forgetting about nitpicking and trying to win every single trade. I think there was value in just kind of, clearing up the dam a little bit, just kind of getting the process going, because I think at this point it just, even emotionally, and I think it's maybe to Sarah's, well, I guess not to Sarah's point, but I think emotionally a lot of fans are upset because it just feels like there is no direct, like, what is the purpose of showing up? Is the purpose of showing, I think maybe, I guess Sarah might be more okay with watching, I think she put it as a summer league team out there, if that's what the only option is. But I think it's when you're actively making the choice to not play your best play. Domantas Sabonis had 24 points and 15 rebounds in 20 minutes. Like, what is the justification for not playing him if he's going to be on your team, like, and he's suiting up? Like, what, it's just, you can't play this game of we're half tanking or hybrid tank, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, to me, it would have been valuable just to get this process going. And, we can nitpick. You guys on air can nitpick about the specifics of, did they get everything they needed to get? But honestly, the reality of the situation is people in Sacramento need to feel like there's a purpose for watching the Kings. And there's, if I'm being honest with people, like, I struggle to find the purpose of tuning in for a majority of the games. Can you pop in and see, hey, where is Neek in the development? Where are these guys at this point in the season? Sure. But, like, I could not in my right mind tell somebody in my life why you should watch the Kings every single night the rest of this season.
No, and I'm looking here. Sherry's been all over the text line. Sherry says, rebuild on the backs of paying customers, 3 question marks. We go to the game for entertainment, not to watch summer league team, not respectful to paying fans, rebuild over the summer. And I would imagine Sherry understands the whole idea of tanking, things like that. I'm sure Sherry gets that. But there is an optics conversation, too, where if, okay, you have this player in Domantas Sabonis that you have a certain value on and you didn't want to lose him, it's a tough sell now that you still have him on the team to just sit him. And he maybe played at the very beginning of the fourth, but maybe not at all.
Emmadrock says Domas clearly had lower back soreness last night.
Yeah, and that's fine. But fine. Then those
he looked phenomenal.
And these are some season ticket members, so you've already kind of cashed out. But for those that aren't season ticket members, then those ticket prices better have some back soreness too.
What's interesting about that, Alan, Chris, Jay, dear listener, I don't know that the Sacramento Kings have ever gone into an extended rebuild. So there's a lot of Kings fans, even longtime Kings fans, have never had to experience this before. We've seen it in other NBA cities. Some of the best teams in the league have gone through the tanking, whatever. The Kings, I don't know that they've ever really done it.
They've never labeled it as because
even
with, like, DeMarcus Cousins, they were still trying to get too competitive. They weren't like, hey, let's agree to stink.
So for some fans, like, wait, what is this?
Yeah, but I think this is also an issue. Well, we don't know what's going to happen over the summer, but this is also kind of an issue that's specific to this season, because when you clear it almost feels like, not to go Malcolm X here, but it almost feels like hoodwinked, bamboozled to season ticket fans, because the big names are still on your team.
Yeah.
If those big names were removed from your team, then you can go into the 2026, 2027 season knowing, I know what I'm signing up for. To Sarah and to Sherry and to the season ticket holders, you still have those players. And you're choosing not to play them.
You're actively watching them just sit on the bench and be like, hey, we're losing this game. Why aren't we putting them in?
And to be fair, as we've said, the Kings kind of got lucky that they have stunk this bad. They weren't supposed to be in a position to get a top pick. Right. So now that they're here, they're saying, hey, well, we're going to react to this. But fans can be within their right to say, this is not what I paid for. Next season, if you move Domas and you move DeRozan and Malik, then fans could say, well, I know what I paid for. And I know you have to okay it or agree to it early on, but I'm sure, you can make certain things work or whatever, but you would more so know what you're getting into. I think fans this season are saying, I got to watch Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis on the bench. Even though they were losing anyway, it's just the optics of it.
If we take these two comments on face value as well, do you guys feel like there could be a handshake agreement of, let's just not do this at home?
No.
Oh.
No. If you're going to do it, you got to do it.
Because I think I'm more saying that because these two specific comments are saying we are paying our hard-earned money to show up in Sacramento, and I think the first who was the first? Sarah was saying like I brought friends to try and convince them to be entertained by this team, and I think if there is. Again, it's living in a perfect world, just having your cake and eating it too. But like, can you say like, hey, this is a home game. We want it to be important, as Doug, as many coaches have said in the past, we want it to be important for home court to mean something. At home court, it doesn't matter what the score is. We are trying to win this game. On the road, fans, you guys can tune out, do whatever you want with your, with your day.
Can't do it.
I think that in theory, if we're taking these two specific complaints on face value, that is how you solve that is home games, we are trying. Road games, all is fair.
I like that.
I know that a lot of season ticket holders would probably say, oh, yeah, why can't
we can
they
live
do
with
that?
Yeah.
But whatever it is that you're doing, if you're trying for the play-in or you're tanking or whatever it is, you have to do it all the way.
Does it make it almost too obvious as well,
You've got a lot of teams right now that are tanking hard, and they're going to tank harder down the stretch. And if you want a shot at a top 3 pick, you can't pick and choose.
You're not even saying from an optics perspective. You're not even saying it becomes more
bad,
obvious.
But it's like there's no way around it.
You're just saying because factually, if you want to play that game, you have to fully be in there.
But the funniest thing about this is who the hell do we think the Kings are, right? I mean, we're
the worst team in the NBA at the moment.
And they've been playing their guys. Now, I get it.
It felt like the Detroit game showed them or was it Detroit? The Wizards game showed them, you can just do that.
That's what I'm saying.
And then after that, there's some, AD, BC AD.
That's what I'm saying. So I hear what you're saying, Whitey, and I get it because it's very competitive in the tank world. But we're also pretending
East and West.
Yeah, and I know I've been the number one person saying that this schedule's going to get easier. I get that. But we're acting like this team can win games.
Right. They've been trying to win games.
They've been trying to win games, and that's why we're here. So
you're saying they can try to win games and not win them?
I'm saying they've been trying, and they've been losing. So I don't know if it has to be as aggressive. Now, I would hate for the Kings to miss out, and if they lost one more game, very similar to what happened on the Josh Giddey half-court shot with the Bulls. We just saw that. So I get it, but it's just funny to me that we're acting like, hold the horses back. Okay, they're going to win all these games.
Last night, if Domas had played more minutes.
They win that game.
Yeah.
They win that game.
So there you go. Well, I mean, we don't know that for a fact, but I agree. That's a reasonable thing to say.
He's pretty easily scoring 40 points.
Well, maybe the push-pull, and it's not a perfect world. We're just trying to figure it out. The push-pull is that Zach LaVine plays. That brother didn't want to be out there anyway. But, I mean, he's getting paid, and he's a name. So Zach and DeMar play, but Domas doesn't play. And maybe Sarah feels a little bit better. I don't know. It was I think it's just
Russ and DeMar were out there, right?
It was just optics because it was a good game, but Sarah is just upset because I'm watching Domas on the bench.
I understand why she's upset, and I think it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
I just think from the Kings standpoint, they're going to have to – it's incumbent upon them to impress upon their paying customers. This is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. I was hoping, Chris, that if they made a move that was of some significance at the deadline, that would give management a great opportunity to come out tomorrow. And I know Scott Perry is speaking tomorrow, but that would have been a great opportunity to say, look, this is an example of what we're doing. We got this player or these draft picks because this is where we are. And then when you weren't able to do anything, and I understand why they weren't, we're not doing anything. You don't have that opportunity.
Can I read something?
Please.
Okay. Keep in mind, because Chris, because you do a lot of our social, doing a great job. So this was clearly scheduled. The
Is this from us? Oh.
No, not us.
Okay.
The post time on this today at 12 p.m., which was the end of the trade deadline, right?
It was the trade deadline.
The trade deadline. Sip sustainably. The first 500 fans to buy a brew at the Sierra Nevada Draft House tomorrow at tomorrow's game will get a clean canteen pint glass. Sierra Nevada, taste what matters. You can't post that at 12. They're getting cooked. They're gonna have to turn it off like the A's. You can't do. You got to have somebody in there to say we can't post that at 12 p.m. You got to push that bad boy to 3.
Agreed.
To 3. Someone, the nerve.
Promoting that at 12 o'clock as you do nothing.
Somebody said, read the room.
Yeah.
Insane. Mm-hmm. Taste the, what is it? Taste what matters. Taste the trade.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I know we're getting a lot of calls here. Please be patient. I do want to let you know about a giveaway we have here, and we'll get back to the phones and back to the conversation. We've got the big game coming up, and we have a Super Taco Big Game Party for 10, catered feast of authentic Mexican flavor with all your favorite Super Taco, where every bite celebrates family recipes passed down since when, Alan? Passed down since when? Passed down since how long ago?
Tell me, Whitey.
I wanted you to guess.
20 years?
1991.
There you go.
Yeah. Here's the deal. We've got the code word for you. Listen to us between 2 and 6 for the code word. Enter it on our website for your chance to win. Enter it on our website for your chance to win. And today's code word is super. S-U-P-E-R. Super. So you enter that on our website for your chance to win. Super Taco Big Game Party for 10. And good luck. We're up against here. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll get back to the phones. A lot of people want to talk to Chris Watkins and Alan, Jay, and me about what is going on with the Kings. Where do the Kings go from here? Whatever's going on right now, how do you sell this to your fan base? It's a good question, Alan.
Taste the trade.